Not all sex cases are the same. There's some very brutal sex cases that the abuse went on for years. There's some that it is only 1 or 2 incidents. Both of them are bad. It's very harmful to the victim.
Greene County Judge Calvin Holden is tonight defending his decisions on the stand after a local group is now calling for him to be removed. Yesterday, the Springfield MeToo chapter posted on Facebook asking for signatures that would be submitted to Missouri lawmakers. The group argues that Judge Holden is too lenient on sentences involving sex crimes. Just this week, a Springfield man was charged with raping a 12-year-old girl. The News Leader reports 25-year-old Christopher Ravel told police the girl came on to him and forced him to have sex with her. Officers did not buy that story. But it's crimes like these that some believe Judge Holden sometimes goes too easy on the sentence. Many of the Facebook commenters on Ravel's story say they fear his attorneys will pick Judge Holden to get probation rather than jail time. However, Judge Holden strongly disagrees with those statements and the petition, which has already received 500 signatures. Color 10's Frances Lynn spoke to both sides of this issue for us today, and she's in our studio now with more on the story tonight. Frances?
Yeah, well, Judge Holden says there's a lot of factors that come into play when he's making these decisions, and he does what's best for society and the victims.
We had to take a stand and help those that we promised to help.
The petition can't do that. They can't remove me from the bench, for one. Two, everybody is entitled to their opinion. They just need to maybe look at all the facts in each case. Maybe have come to the sentencing, maybe the trial, and they may have somewhat of a better idea what judges do. I mean, we have to take both sides, all the facts.
Judge Calvin Holden explains his decision-making process for each sex case.
You know, I've had cases where an 8-year-old was being raped for so long she couldn't remember when it wasn't happening to her, versus a girl that was just touched once, not even raped. There's just a variance in the crimes, and we have to take all that into consideration: the age of the defendant, the maturity of the defendant.
President of MeToo Springfield, Jordan Harris, gave some examples they believe to be unfair.
Just in the past year, we've had Judge Holden give the sentence of only 5 years probation to someone who had sex with an 11-year-old girl, giving her chlamydia. A man who had a second rape conviction while on probation for the first rape conviction.
But the MeToo movement is also about domestic violence, which is, I'm standing out in front of the Court of Appeals getting ready to argue about my domestic abuse court. It's about sexual abuse, children abuse, neglect. There's a lot of things they can be centering on, but they've only centered on like 10 or 15 of the 15,000 cases that I've judged.
Judge Holden says he also takes into account the lack of prison space.
The prisons are full. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't send somebody that needs to go. And in fact, if you look at a lot of my sentencings, I've had attorneys comment, they would not stand somebody up in front of me without a plea deal on a sex case because I'm too harsh on sex offenders. So they find it a little ironic that the Me Too movement is keying on this.
This is something that affects the survivors of it for the rest of their lives. So he can't just take into account the lives of those in the prison system. He has to take into account those that he's affecting when he gives these light sentences.
MeToo Springfield will be sending the petition to the Missouri Senate and the Commission of Removal, Discipline, and Retirement. We will be following up to see what happens with this petition.
Yeah.